It's really spectacular when you look at the craftsmanship. That really is a testament. When you walk through this building, you can see the quality.
Brian Pease is the Capitol Historic Site Manager at the Minnesota State Capitol. As part of his job, he is entrusted with the historic preservation of the more than 100-year-old building and making sure it is accessible to the public for educational purposes. You could also say dispelling any myths about the Capitol comes with his territory.
So you're here to set the record straight.
That's right, yeah. So it's a good opportunity just to let people know things in this building weren't done by mistake. Everything really had a purpose.
On Capitol Quirks, we investigate the stories surrounding the strange and mysterious attributes lurking in the architectural details and paintings of one of Minnesota's most recognizable buildings, the state capitol. Some stories are fact-based, others are merely myths passed down throughout the decades. In this episode, Brian Pease dispels a couple of the most popular myths surrounding this majestic seat of state government. Above the Capitol Rotunda is a series of paintings by muralist Edward Simmons titled The Civilization of the Northwest. On the mural's third panel, Simmons depicts a figure known as the American Genius. The figure represents Minnesota settlers farming the land and reaping the rewards of harvest.
There's a scene with the American Genius lifting up a huge jewel-encrusted rock. And, it's as big as he is, but it represents kind of the release of the fertility of the soil.
It's in this scene that we see a popular myth. Some have claimed the American Genius is missing fingers.
He's missing his pink. Looks like he's missing his pink anyway.
How many fingers does he have?
I see 3 fingers and 1 thumb.
While the Capitol visitors we spoke to struggled to distinguish all the fingers, a close-up examination of the image shows that the figure does, in fact, have all of his digits.
As he's kind of lifting back on the rock, his fingers are kind of curled. So when you're standing a distance away from that painting, it looks like he only has 3 fingers. You just don't see the thumb and the pinky kind of curled back.
In the fourth panel of Edward Simmons' The Civilization of the Northwest, the American Genius is giving orders to send products from the state to the 4 corners of the earth. Something in this scene seems a little off as well. The figure appears to have his right hand attached to his left arm.
I think his pinky and is like his thumb over there. It's not the correct hand.
From the perspective, if you're 60 feet below that painting, it looks like he has, the thumb on the wrong hand.
Those who believe the hand is on the wrong arm have tried to explain the oddity they observe.
The story that I've heard many times is that the artist, Edward Simmons, was mad at the Capitol Commissioner, Cass Gilbert, so he tried to do some trickery with the hand. And so for many, many years, that was probably before the Minnesota Historical Society took over the tours, was perpetuated by the tour guides, we believe, as part of one of the funny stories.
But Pease says there isn't evidence to back this story up.
We do have correspondence between Edward Simmons and Cass Gilbert, and there was some delay in him getting some of the work done. He had some personal issues and was doing some of this work in France, and so there was some delay in communication and that type of stuff. But as far as we know, they had a really strong relationship.
Pease points to Edward Simmons' autobiography, From 7 to 70, Memories of a Painter and a Yankee, where Simmons talks about his Capitol projects and doesn't have anything bad to say about Cass Gilbert or the Minnesota State Capitol. Pease also points to the fact that Cass Gilbert, known for his attention to detail, wouldn't have let mistakes slide.
These artists were being paid thousands of dollars to do these commissions. So if you want to be paid, you're not going to be really, taking those liberties, because Cass Gilbert, who was a stickler for detail, would say, what's up with the hand, or why are you doing that, and repaint that.
Most importantly, when you look closely at the details, Pease says the work is anatomically correct.
You'll see that really is a left hand on a left arm. It's just the way the artist had put the thumb was a little bit more against the palm, so that kind of disappears, and then the 2 fingers, the ring and the pinky finger, are kind of put together. So when you're that far away, it looks like there's, a right-handed hand on the left arm.
In the end, there are no missing fingers or hand attached to the wrong arm. Pease has accomplished one of his missions as the Capitol Historic Site Manager and put to rest these popular rumors.
I'm sure every generation of people who have worked here have heard different types of stories that they talk about in their chambers that have just been passed on from staff and legislator to legislator, and not really looking at maybe the information. If you were to dig deep enough, you would find out, yeah, that really probably could never happen just because of this or that.